Wherever there's agreement, strength is multiplied. I'm Tim Greenwood, and this is Windows on the Word. In addition, 1 plus 1 equals 2, but when one shifts into agreement, something called synergy must be factored into the equation. Let's say we have a 2x4 that's 8 foot long. Now it's been rated to support 100 pounds of weight. And now if we put a second 2x4 on top of it, you'd think that 100 pounds and 100 pounds, now it'll support 200 pounds. But see, the thing is, we're not factoring in synergy, the power of agreement. For now it multiplies, and what it'll support is nearly double that to 400 pounds. Now this works with people too. When people enter into agreement, synergy comes into play and multiplication occurs, greatly increasing the potential far beyond what each individual can produce on their own. God's really into multiplication. Ecclesiastes 4:9 says that 2 are better than 1 because they will have prosperity. You might be saying, I'm just better off by myself. But no, the Bible says that 2 are better than 1. Now verse 10 says, 2 create a better return for their work. 2 mean that there's help in weakness or time of trouble. 2 means that there's warmth, naturally and spiritually. And 2 can defend themselves better during a battle. You see, agreement is a contractual relationship. Today, the self has been elevated above all else. Serve yourself, seek yourself, know yourself, watch yourself, live for yourself. Lift yourself up, embrace yourself, acknowledge yourself, honor yourself. An independent, self-willed person will only think of themselves. Arrogance, meism, selfishness, self-entitlement is so against the Word and the will of God. Understanding the value of agreement is rapidly being lost in today's society. And as a result, the benefits of sharing and caring about others and lifting them up and coming into agreement with each other is diminishing. In Luke 5:5, Peter gives all the reasons why not. But then, nevertheless, at your word, Peter came into agreement with Jesus. He committed to Jesus' word by his word. He entered into a contractual relationship in good faith, or like the King James Bible says, faith. You also need to start converting what Jesus said and what God said. Those promises, those good faith offers into good faith contractual relationships by coming into agreement with Him. The doctor may say you're going to die, but the Word says, by His stripes you are healed. The world says it's impossible, but the Word says all things are possible to him that believes, or comes into a good faith agreement. Not only in emergencies like dialing 911, not just after you've exhausted every other means, not as a parachute or a fire extinguisher, but make agreement a way of life. Live in agreement with those that God has connected you with. Ecclesiastes 4:12 says that a 3-strand cord is not easily broken. A rope or a cord woven in multiplicity is much, much stronger than a standard one of 2 strands or a single strand. The Old Testament says not everyone can work alongside of just anyone. Don't yoke an ox and an ass together, it says. Why? Because the brute force of the ox would just end up dragging along the reluctant, self-serving, self-willed ass. The two have to agree with each other, complement and work well with each other before they come into agreement. The same thing with sheep and goats. They just don't work well together because they've got completely different mindsets. And finally, 1 Corinthians 1:10 says that we should all make living in agreement our way of life.